I done told all my friends that I'm starting a movement to get my show back and my old cartooning, taking my family back home through the ponies, moving slow like a star.
Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and today, to celebrate Black History Month, I wanted to give shout outs to all of the Black authors that I have read and some I haven't read, but I have the physical copies of their books that I just want to, if you don't know, then you need to know them. And if you haven't, well, if you have, you know them, but you don't know this series, then, jump on board. But first, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and I post a video Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes Sunday. So please be subscribed so you can get notified when I am posting. All right, let's just get into it. Oh, do you like my fit? This is the Rihanna crop top for the Super Bowl. I have some other fits from the Super Bowl that I can't wait to come in, and I'm just here for it. I don't know the Super Bowl like that. I just know Beyonce and Rihanna. I was there for that. So let's go. But yeah, let me show you some books. So yes, I have 3 piles of books, and the thing about it is, I do this a lot. I get multiple editions of a book that I really like if it has multiple covers. So some of these do, but that means that the book is great. I'm just letting you know. If I have multiple editions of a book with the same plot, I'm just saying, it's good. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's my caveat. So let's get started with this first one. I've never actually read this book, but I heard really good things about the first one. I heard also things about the second one. I just really wanted it. So when I was a part of Book of the Month, I bought it. And this is Lengendborn, and this is by Tracy Dion. And this is the Black heroine. She is going to a school, a university that her mother has wanted her to go, but her mother has died a week before she's supposed to go to this school. And she finds out that she is a descendant of King Arthur, but other people are thinking that they're the descendants of King Arthur, and there's a love triangle and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I know that this was on a cliffhanger at the end because of something that happens to one of her love interests that then carries over to the second book, which I haven't seen spoilers for because I don't know. I do know that I think Illumicrate is going to be reprinting the special editions of book 1 and book 2, and I want those. So our next one is by Eva Moraine and Madeline Watson, and it's First Year, Cherish and Simon. This is a story about 2 people who have someone in common, and they get left with a very bad deal on their end. Simon, his wife Emily, has recently died, and he's left with their child. And Cherish, her boyfriend, has walked out on her after giving birth to their daughter. And now Simon and Cherish have to coexist together because Cherish is homeless. Her boyfriend kicked her out, and her baby. His baby too. So they're coexisting together, helping each other out because he doesn't know a thing about babies, and she is just now a single mother. And there is 4 years, so this is the first year. I have the second year, and I haven't read this. This is on my 23 books to read in 2023, and I'm hoping that I like the first and second one so I can then buy the third and fourth one. But this is a slow burn romance between our 2 characters, and they're both single parents. Our next one is by C.B. Staten, and this is Thunder in Her Body. This book made me cry so much. This cover does not match the story. I bought this thinking one thing, and I didn't want to read it for a while. It wasn't until I had my roommate pick out a book, and she thought this was going to be the most boring, and I was going to DNF this book because of how it looks. I wish I had a better cover. But this book was great. It is a romance. It's a very mature romance. I think they're in their 40s or 50s, and they've lived life to the fullest. They have children. She is about to retire. Him and his business partner have millions of dollars on Native American land because he is Native American, and it's just love at first sight at a restaurant with their other best friends. It's so good. I'm not even telling you the things. I just can't tell you. If you ever just need a book that you just want to question love, and if you are in love, then this book is it, because I was crying during some of the scenes of them being in love. I was crying because other things. This book was just so good, and basically it's just a challenge of them being together and just wanting the best for each other, and it's just really good. Chef's kiss. This next one is by Raven St. Perry, and this is Overdose. This is a forbidden romance between two doctors. That one doctor is a patient of the other, and it's wild. So our heroine, she is recently getting in stages of her divorce, but her husband and her, when they were married officially, opened a practice together because they're both therapists. She is a sex therapist though, and he is a child trauma therapist. So her new patient is actually a therapist as well, but he has a sex addiction problem. So he's going to her to help along that way. They have an instant connection together. It's so good. And they're tinkering on the line of being together. Some things happen, but the biggest plot in here is her ex-husband, or her future ex-husband. That is crazy. But the steam in here is so good. You want them to be together, and it's just love this. But I will say that there is infidelity in here, because the reason that she is divorcing her future ex-husband is because she found out that he was cheating on her while he was at conferences. But that is one of the biggest plots ever. If you think that was wrong, wait till you find out what else he was doing. It's wild. But this is a great book. Just saying. This next one is by Drayteeth Annies. I hope I said that right. This is Lust. This is part of the Seven Sins series, but all the series is standalones, and all of them are by different authors. This is book 2, I think. I think it's book 2. But this is called Lust. This is heavily inspired by the book of Tobit. So if you don't know, this is a dark, taboo romance with lots of triggers. There's non-com, dubious consent, R-word, the S-word that means that you have intercourse with someone who's sleeping. I forgot how to say that word, but that's what it has in here. And it's a adopted siblings thing, because they were stepbrothers and sisters at first, but then his father adopts her, so now they're sister and brother. I'm just saying. But it's an age gap because he's way older than her. This is super crazy. This also has references of angels. It's the book of Tobit. So like, I'm just saying. But the premise of this is we have our heroine. It's interracial. She is not sheltered, but sheltered. She has problems having partners and also has problems keeping friends who, if something happens, like if they get into an argument, something will happen to that person. So everyone doesn't want to be friends with her because like it's basically like a curse. They think that she's a witch or something like that, because whenever someone has a disagreement with her and it's like very passionate disagreement, that person ends up hurt a lot every single time. So friends, no go. Boyfriends, definitely no. Love interest, out the park, no. And she has just like known about this, but like hasn't really like in-depthly talked to someone about like why this is happening to her. And then we find out it's her brother. Her brother is obsessed with her. He's been trying to not mess around with his sister, but it works for a while. And then it gets triggered by someone in the book of Tobit. Because they're all reincarnations. And it's amazing. It's also very dark. So I'm just letting that be a warning to you. Just saying. But I think you'll like it. If you like dark, bully, taboo, non-com, dubious consent, R-word story. Our next story is by Constance Galam, and this is the HookUp Dilemma. This is a one-night stand that never quits. But basically, our heroine is a lawyer, and she is trying to preserve her neighborhood, which is a predominantly Black neighborhood. And our hero, his father, is trying to build properties on the neighborhood and trying to basically kick out all of the community to make it more accessible and more aesthetically pleasing to the richer people. What's crazy is like they actually meet on his birthday, and she decides to like just get out of her comfort zone and just like do something crazy, and that's meet up with a guy. He takes her to dinner and they hook up. Great night, and he loved every bit of it because he's never done that before either. And then she's like leaving, and he does not want that to happen. But she does. He tries to find her, and he does, but they meet again when she is picketing at his office, I think. It's wild. It's a little crazy, but they have to, because he does not really care. She has to figure out if she wants to be in love or to fight for her passion of saving her neighborhood. Because if she does, then his father, and basically him, will destroy her neighborhood, but she'll have love. But if she doesn't fight for her love, then she saves her neighborhood, but lose out on a man who seems like he really wants to be with her, no matter what. It was really good. Steam was great. I love this. I didn't think I was going to like this book, but I did. It was unexpected, and I'm just telling you, it's great. These next two books are by the same author, and our first one, it is DIMA by Kenya Wright. This is a dark romance. It's interracial, it's mafia in here, and I love this book. It's over 500 pages too, and it's illustrated. And I mean, not safe for work, illustrated. So basically our heroine is moving to this new city, and she realizes that it's being run by mafia members. Each town, or each like north, east, south, west, areas are run by a certain mafia boss. And she's trying to take them down because she thinks it's all corrupt and she doesn't want that for the city that she's moving into. DIMA is one of the bosses that she's actually in the town, in the the city limits that she lives in. And he is dealing with someone who is killing the top mafia bosses. He's trying to figure that out. But he also sees her trying to take them down. And it's like a cat and mouse for both of them. It's so good. It's so good. This does have cheating in it because she is dating someone, or he's trying to date her at the same time that she is having these interactions with DIMA. But it's really, really good. I loved it. And I know that this is supposed to be a series. I really want it to, the second book to come out because it follows the remaining other bosses or the runner-ups because their boss died, so now they're going to be the leader. And I'm here for a certain person. I can't tell you who it is because I don't know when that person's book's going to come out, but I'm here for it. The next one is Quarantine and Chill, and if you think, it literally happens during COVID. This is a best friend's brother and forced proximity because she is cat sitting for her best friend who is in Europe during COVID, and then she's stuck at her best friend's house during COVID, and she thinks that she is just going to be her and the cat. But then all of a sudden, the day before or the day of, her best friend's older brother comes and says hey, he needs to live here because there's something going on in his house. And they always had a little inkling for each other. And now that he is single because of reasons, they spark some chemistry. And it's really, really cute. I loved it. There is other woman drama in here because of reasons, but I loved every minute of it. Our next book is by Mila Nix, and this is for vacation only. This is a cruise ship romance. This is really, really cute. So our heroine, she's on the cruise because she's a cruise singer. Our hero, he is on the cruise because it was supposed to be a honeymoon cruise, but the day of his wedding, something happens and he is going on this cruise by himself. He is from a rich family and it's just he just has to get away. So he goes on this cruise, meets her, and they have a very flirty interactions. And so finally he's like, hey, how about I pay you to show me how to have fun? Because he's always been serious, especially since when he was dating his ex-fiance. So she shows him different places on these different ports, and they slowly become in love. But it won't last, will it? Because they all have to go home at some point. And that's what happens. But it's just this is just really, really sweet and really realistic, I think, when it comes to cruise ship love, being in a forced proximity with someone and then the real world catches up with you. It does end in an HEA, so just keep that in mind, but it's really cute. Now we're getting into authors I'm pretty sure that everyone knows. I'm just saying. Our first author is QB Tyler. This is the first QB Tyler book that I ever read, and it's Forget Me Not. So our tropes are amnesia, a marriage in trouble, infidelity, and another trigger, but that would give the book away if I gave it to you, so I don't want to. But if you want to look at the trigger warnings, then you can. But I'm just letting you know, this book is so good. So our hero, he gets into a car accident and he forgets, I think, 2 or 3 years of his time. They call his future ex-wife, and she finds out that like he has amnesia, and he thinks that they're still in love and still married, or still, in this marriage completely. And she has to tell him that he cheated on her, and he's like, I would never. And so we're just like, wait, what's going on? Because it seems like he is really in love with this woman. What would make him cheat? Like, what would make him cheat? It's so good. I was crying. This is the first time, like, in a romance, I wasn't rooting for the heroine. I was rooting for the hero because I understood the process of what was going on, and it was bad. And then once he realized what he did and he told her, it was just all over, and he just kept on doing what he was doing because it was over. And he didn't try to fight. Well, he did fight, but like, he didn't try to fight. It was just I'm giving too much away. It was just really, really good, and you should read it if you haven't read it. But this is so good. This next one I'm actually currently reading, but this is Always Been You. This is a age gap taboo relationship because they're adopted siblings, and this is forced proximity because she has to move in with him. But yes, that's all I really know now. Alright, next one is in the Lithium Springs series, or trilogy, because I think there's 3. But this is Lithium Tides. This is a rock star romance. There is infidelity in here. It's the heroine cheating on her current boyfriend with our rock star, and him, once he has a taste for her, not caring that she has a boyfriend, and wants her to break up with her boyfriend so they can be together. And then there's a twist. I love this book. This book was really great. It actually almost made me want to read the first and the third book, especially the first book, because the reason why she knows this rock star is because her best friend is actually dating the lead singer of this group, and he's the drummer. So this is really good. I'm just telling you, don't like heroes cheating on the heroine and still being with the heroine. If you like them cheating on the other people and in order to be together, then this book would be right up your alley. So these next books are basically the same book. Literally, I have every cover of this book. So let me just get to it, because it's still Carmel Roads, but it is a dark romance. It's called Truly. This is a dark romance, and what's happening is Truly is just being broken up with by her first love at her graduation, and so she is like devastated, but her friend is like, hey, power through this. We're about to go on vacation. We're about to like spend our last months before college on this road trip. And so she's like, buck up. And I'm like, yeah, buck up. But no, Truly is devastated. And it turns out that someone in her life, and I mean her ex-boyfriend's younger brother, Noah, is our hero. He is a redeemable hero. He does not take no for an answer in the first 2/3 of the book. When I mean 2/3, I mean until the last chapter of the book. I'm just saying he is just not redeemable. He does some wild things that you're just like, oh, that is possessive. possessive. But then you realize that like he has been in this girl's life for a while in the background. And you're just trying to figure out like, why is he targeting her? But, you know, I'm just giving you all my books. But this is so good. There is a scene in here in the first, I think it's either the first chapter or the second chapter, that is definitely SA. But I am telling you that this book is great. This is a 5-star. If you like Untouchable by San Mariano, then this book is definitely right up your alley as well. There is lots of spice. Our heroine is a virgin, and no, it is just redeemable at the end. But I am telling you that this is a great book for you to read if you like sports romance, forced proximity. I'm not saying that word right. It's dark, a road trip with like your best friends and the significant others, and a little plot twist towards the end. You just have to read this because it's amazing. So while we're on the you may know this author, I have another one, and that's BB Reed. And this one is the fourth and final book of the When Rivals Play series, and it's The Prince and the Pawn. This is really, really good. Technically, it can be read as a standalone, but in order for you to understand some of what's going on, it's better for you to read all 4 books. But you don't have to if you don't want to. But this basically is a established relationship in the beginning. I think you see it more coming together in the first 3 books, but it's established in this book. They are going through some things in their relationship, especially when it comes to college. He's a bad boy. He doesn't seem like he is in this fully because of secrets that she doesn't know. And she is in this fully, but she is getting vibes. Then comes in a very surprising person in her life, which is her half-sister. And that just brings in something that we did not see coming. Because when you open the book, it leads you to believe that something just happened. And then it rewinds you back to before it happened. And it's wild. This has infidelity in here because that first scene is infidelity. And then like it leads up to the infidelity. And then we have, oh wait, what? Surprise pregnancy. So I just love this book. I love it. There is some aspects of it that, like, again, if you haven't read the first 3 books, you probably won't understand like the grand scheme of everything, like the intricacies of everything, not the grand scheme, the intricacies of everything. But overall, if you haven't read the first 3, then it's okay. That's what I did. I read this book by itself, and I was like, I was all right. I read it again a year later, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then I bought all these. Then I read the other 3, and I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. But again, you don't have to read these. Well, you don't have to read this in this series in order. You can just read this by itself, but it's really good. It's infidelity, second chance romance, surprise pregnancy, interracial, and it's just amazing. And if you know me, then you know I have another series by her, and that is the Broken Love series. So I'm not going to show you the whole entire series because that will ruin the plots for everything else, but Fear Me by BB Reed. This is really good. This is a dark bully romance with a bunch of triggers. This is dubious consent, non-com. This is a lot. This is revenge. This is like black. It's just like a lot going on in this book, and the spice is just love it. And then you have Fear You. I have doubles of this book because I love this so much, and they're both Mystic copies. But I can say I have triples because I have the paperbacks of this. But Fear You is the second book, and it follows the same couple in these two. And then in Fear Us, we still have more. Then you have Breaking Love, which we are following someone else. I'm not going to say who. And then you have Fearless, which is the final copy, well, the final book in the Broken Love series. So, yes. Love this. I wish Mystic would come out with the last 3 books in the collection, but I am okay with the first 2 because I love the first 2. One pile down. Yes. Next, we have Haley Stewart, and this is Deadly Vows. This is cray-cray. This is a dark romance. You should definitely check the trigger warnings because this has SAR word, kidnapping, Stockholm syndrome, just mafia, arranged marriage, a whole bunch of death, like death everywhere with like family members' death. It has so torture. It's just so much. There's so much abuse. This was so dark, yet so good. It made me uncomfortable how much I liked this book with what the heroine was going through in this book. This is wild. So Elsa has to marry Luca, who is like the big bad of their whole entire area. He is like evil. Well, that's what everyone says. And from what she remembers of him growing up, he's horrible. There's flashback scenes of like them when they were younger, because Luca doesn't technically remember her when she was younger, but they were in their mafioso family. So like the children would hang out with the other mafioso family members' children's. And so he was a devil when he was younger. Just wild. So yeah. So she is like this very vanilla, very sheltered girl that her father made her that way. She isn't in the lifestyle at all. At all. So having to marry someone in the lifestyle is going to be like hard for her, but she is basically like submissive to her father. Like she'll do anything for her father, and she does. She marries Luca, and Luca is wild. But you're gonna love him or hate him or just in between. But like you're gonna love him at the end because this is so wild. I've never felt so uncomfortable with how great I like this book in some of the scenes, because he puts this heroine through a dumpster fire of like emotions and like trauma, horrible trauma. Like she causes people death trauma, but like it's not like her fault, but like it's her fault. And when she tries to help out the people, he does things to her. It's still good though. This is really great. These next 2 books are by the same author but under different pen names, and that is the lovely May Sage. This is Ruled by Blood, and I love this edition. It's a dark fantasy romance because this is Arcane Society, so you know it's fantasy. Love it. And then we have Lexi Blake, which is still May Sage. This is her other pen name, and this one is Cursed Crown. And I just love these. These are so cute. And you can definitely see this is a dark fantasy romance. But I will do an honorable mention. If you don't like fantasy by May Sage, then you definitely will like Suck It Up. Suck It Up is the... if you read 50 Elites, then you know what I'm talking about. Suck It Up is the second book in the first book of 50 Elites. That is just crazy. So basically in Suck It Up, our hero is into one woman who is trying to take him down, well, him and his whole society down, the society that was in the first book. And he makes her life a living hell, where he broke her. Like, he literally broke her. And now he wants her again. He has a certain kink. And what's crazy is she likes that kink too. And that's basically having multiple partners, but still being in a relationship with only one. Like, you know what I mean? Which is really, really good. It's very dark. Very dark. Very dark. But yeah, if you don't like the fantasy side of her, then like May Sage, Emma Darcy, that's Suck It Up is where you should go. Just saying. This last book in the second to last pile is The Big Girl with Stars in Her Eyes by Alexia Rod. I hope I spelled that. I didn't say it right though. This is a women's fiction book. It does have like romance in it, but it is still a women's fiction book. But our heroine, she had a love of her life and he left her. So now she is trying to be the singer on her own because he helped her out with singing. And comes to find out, he is the manager of a girl group that she's auditioning for, and he has a on-again, off-again relationship with one of the singers in the band, and, you know, drama. He likes her, she likes him, but also this is her finding her dream, like having it come true, and knowing pushing for what she wants in life. And I liked it. I probably can give like the best description of that, but it's still women's fiction with like romance. All right, our last pile. Woo! Okay, so another author that you might know is Talia Hibbett. This is a princess trap. This is a royalty romance, or a plus size romance. It's really nice. There is so much sexual tension. The spice is nice in here. I love the plot of this. So our hero, he is the prince of a small country. And he is very scandalous. Mainly because of his kinks and his orientation. But he has this instant connection with our heroine who doesn't know he's a prince at first. This is fake dating, fake fiancés, because reasons, and that turns to love. There's so much drama in here that like page turning was great. Once you like land in his country, it's like all over. You're just gonna be like, wait, what? What's going on? What's really going on? But yes, this is really good. Royalty, fake relationship, fake marriage, fake fiancés, very scandalous plot that doesn't have to do with him, his scandalous past. Really good. This next one is by Blue Sapphire, and this is the Black Brothers series, and this is Wyatt The Heartbreaker, which is the first book in the series. This is a brother's best friend, because her best friend, who's a boy, and his older brother is Wyatt. But also Wyatt is trying to be together with his brother's best friend, our heroine. This is a interracial romance. This has very like military secret spy kind of like a black ops company, because all the Black Brothers have something to do with the company, and they go on missions that like CIA, like FBI can't go on or do, or like do other things for the government and the people who pay them a lot for this. But basically, Wyatt is a heartbreaker. He's never been in like a long-term relationship. He's always been the person that just like messes around with multiple women at multiple times. He gets caught up. He decides that after this last caught up, he is literally going to lay off women for a while. Like a while. He made a promise to himself. Lo and behold, the next week, our heroine comes in and he has this instant connection to her. And she's also his employee. He is liking her. And he is now starting to realize that he doesn't want to just have sex with her. He actually wants to get to know her. Unlike the other women that he's been in relationships with, he just wanted sex. He didn't want to get to know. He didn't care to know about them. But he is going through the right like hoops to jump to be a boyfriend, material boyfriend. This is really, really good. There is a cliffhanger, kind of, sort of, because their book finishes. But in the last chapter, you get the story of the other Black brother who's going to be in the second book. You get the beginning of his story and how their situation at the end began. And if you want to know how that began, then you should read it. I think I'm going to collect all of them because I think every Black brother is in a relationship with a woman of a different race. And it's just their like love stories are really interesting because you see some of them some of them are already in a relationship, but you want to know how they became. It's just like really interesting. Next is Lorraine Allen, and this is Maverick's Madness. This is crazy. So like if you're uncomfortable with like racism, then I don't think you should read this. But our hero, he grew up racist because his father is the mayor of their town and he is racist. So our heroine is moving to this town because her mother is dating a professor at one of the prestigious schools in the town. And so she is going to be going to this school. Maverick is a student of the school. He is the most popular, the guy that every girl wants to do, every guy wants to be kind of guy. It's a dark bully romance. It's crazy because like Maverick isn't really redeemable. You start to realize what's been going on in his life to make him the way he is in the story. And you realize that mainly he's overcompensating his racism in the beginning of the story because of his father. And slowly his stories start coming out and you just start feeling like, yeah, he's going through a lot. Like that his father's crazy. Like his father is crazy. Like crazy. But yeah. This is them trying to be together and then something happens where she just can't ignore it anymore. It's a lot. Like, I don't want to give it away, but I really want you to read it. This is uncomfortably good, but I understand if you can't get past the racist remarks, then, I understand. But if you can, then this book is really, really good. The Spice is great. He is very, very dominating. He's very, very possessive, obsessive. There is non-com. There is deepest consent. And our heroine, she takes it and she gives it back too. She is very sassy. Very, very sassy. But it's interracial. This is crazy good. Our next one is by Tiffany Ashley. This is Love Script. I got the deluxe edition. I've never read this, but this does have fake dating in here. It is a office romance because her boss, in order for him like to land a very lucrative advertising gig, he says that he is like married and having his anniversary. And so I think the person that has this deal says that, oh, well, bring your wife on the cruise. So then he has to like find a wife that he doesn't have. So he then ropes in our heroine, and she is going to be his fake wife. They have to do lovey-dovey things together, and they slowly fall in love. That's basically like the gist of what I got from the summary, but I'm hoping I'm gonna like it. Next is a author that I fell into, and now I really want to read all of her backlist, but it's Simone West. But I have the complete trilogy of her Off Limits series, and starting with book 1. So this is a taboo, well, the first 2 books in the series are taboo relationships. Well, actually, all 3 books are taboo because of who our couple is. But in this one, this is a step-brother relationship, and we're following Toya and Varen, and they're, like I said, they're step-siblings. And the first one, everything is coming to head, and it's very, like, them being together as, like, a family at first, and then him also realizing that he finds his stepsister attractive, and then going through the whole way of trying to get her to be together with him, and the family finds out. Book 2 is a continuation. It's kind of short, but basically this is just like family drama angst, mainly having to do with Toya's family drama, not like their own family drama. She's dealing with like her father, her biological father, her mother, and like certain secrets coming out. But the core relationship, their relationship, is going through a little bit of hiccups because of her going to college. It's still good, light angst. Spice is okay, and I think you'll like it if you like, you know, a light taboo. Then the third book and final book in the series, I know you see this. So these 2 books are before the redesign, and then this is the redesigned copy of all of the books. So the first 2 books will have some type of floral on them. I kind of wish I still had, I wish I got the Cassie and Reed book with the people cover on it, but I did get this book from the author because I won her giveaway. And first is another taboo, but this couple is cousins. One of the main characters is a adopted cousin, but they grew up together as cousins. So what happens in this one is they were childhood friends, very inseparable, because like they were growing up together, and Cassie's father excommunicates himself from the family because of reasons, and you find that in the book. And it made Cassie and Reed seem like the other one like didn't want to talk to them anymore, but that's not what happens. But when Cassie's about to finish, like go off to college, her aunt wants her to spend the last summer before college with her and Reed. So she does, basically to reconnect with Reed after they're falling out. Then when Reed finally sees Cassie, things get a little weird because he's realizing that he's attracted to his cousin, but not by blood. And this whole entire book is him trying to entice her to try them out. And it works, obviously. But there is a little twist in here at the end that I didn't see coming, that maybe I should have saw coming, but I did enjoy it. Our second to last book is by Kennedy Ryan, and it's Before I Let Go. I haven't read this book at all. I do know that it's a Black love. This is a second chance romance. I think this is also a one-bed romance, forced proximity, and this is a mature romance. Because I think I have kids, but I've read Kennedy Ryan before. I read her like Hoops books. I read 2 of them. I enjoyed them enough to be like, oh, I can read more from this author. So now I am. But yeah, I got the special edition from Fox and Wit, and it's just basically a alternate cover because the regular cover is this. And our last books are basically the same book told in different point of views. So this one is by Kim J. West, and it's white male and black female. I don't really know what these are about since I was given these books, but from like what I got, white male is told in our heroine's point of view, and black female is told in our hero's point of view. I'm just trying to figure out like why they are so like different, because like his is chunkier than hers. But basically this is a billionaire romance where she is like damaged. She is who hurt you vibes, and he's chasing after her, but like something's going on in the background. So like I literally like I can just tell you that it's supposed to be like sensual, intense, heartbreaking, and romantic. Jenna and Jonathan's stories will take you through an addictive journey of discovering the pain and pleasure of interracial love. I don't know. I really don't. But I have these books and I'm willing to give these books a try. So those are all of the books by my Black authors. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of long, but I didn't want to get this out on Black History Month. So I hope I entice you to read some of them. I do have like videos on actually all the ones I've read. So if you want to see those, then you can. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer. I hope you subscribe to me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!